Katie Wilkin. I am the Development Services Director. I'm going to hit a year as Development Services Director in April, so woo, thank you. And I wanted to start by giving some updates on staffing. First, not really staffing, but we do have 2 new council members who started in January. And I think I just saw that we have a Goodyear Grows podcast, and they introduced themselves on this latest edition. So if you want to get to know council member Terry and council member Beckles a little bit more, tune into that podcast. So we're really excited to have them on board. Also in our city manager's office, we welcomed our 3rd deputy city manager, Rachel Garcia. She joins us from the Arizona Department of Health Services. So city manager's office is now fully staffed. Development Services is still reporting to Keeney Knudsen, who's here in the back, if you want to say hi. Our engineering department, water resources department, and public works department also all report to Keeney. So the majority of the development related teams report to Keeney. I have some very sad for us news to share. Randy Westacott, our building official, has announced his retirement. His last day is going to be March 7th. He's worked for the city of Goodyear over 10 years, right? And many of you probably know him from Avondale and Surprise too. So, before he leaves, please take a moment to wish him well, wish him all the best on a very well-deserved retirement. He is definitely going to be sorely missed. But of course, that means there is an opportunity, and I am so pleased to announce that Cheryl Mullis has been offered the position of chief building official. So she is going to be our new chief building official. And many of you know she had served in the role in an acting capacity while Randy was working on our new permit software. So she has great experience. I think a lot of you really enjoy working with Cheryl. So we're really excited about this opportunity for her. So thank you, Cheryl. Since our last meeting, we had some other changes. I think we already announced that our permit manager, Debbie White, retired last year, but we didn't have our new permit manager on board yet, Tim Fisher. He's going to be presenting later. So Tim Fisher is over our permitting division. And then recently, just before the holidays, our civil engineering plan review manager, Colin Harrigan, left the city. He moved back to Oregon to be close to his family. And Brad Finke has been named our new plan review manager. He was actually hired on as a supervisor, and after a full recruitment, he accepted the position of plan review manager, and he comes to us from EPCOR. So we're really excited to have him on our team. And then finally, I just wanted to let you know, Blaine Miller, one of our civil inspection supervisors, just retired a week ago. And Blaine had been with the city 20 plus years. And so a lot of you had worked very closely with him. So we are still working on the recruitment for that position. So those are staffing updates. There's also a lot of team members who've gotten promotions, but those are the people who've left or come on new. So I just hit the highlights. So with that, our next item on our agenda is an update from our Economic Development Department. So I am going to introduce Joe Stewart. And all right, he's going to give us an update on economic development.
No.
I've just been doing
that. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Good morning. My name is Joe Stewart. I am the Senior Business Development Manager in the Economic Development Department. I recently took this role. I was formerly a Business Development Manager. I took the senior role as of January. I started doing this presentation and had about 30 slides, so I'm going to try and condense it down to as much as possible and try to give you some of the high-level highlights. And we'll start, obviously, right where you came in, our beautiful new City Hall, well, not so new now, about 3 years, with our Civic Square. And this is our this is our economic development team, and the header's not appearing on there, so interesting. But we do have a leadership and operations team led by our economic development director, Wendy Bridges, and our deputy director, Dara Mann. And then there's the business development team. We all have different focus areas in business development. I will be continuing to do retail, entertainment, and hospitality. With the addition of my new role, I'll be doing more special projects and high-profile projects as part of the city. Robert, Kendra, Claire, and TJ all have different levels of different focus areas. So if you're working with the city, they're going to be your points of contact in each of those individual areas. Something new for us, we formerly reported to Justin Fair, the deputy city manager. We now report directly to Wynette Reed, the city manager of the city. We do have an open recruitment right now for a business development manager in our department. So if you know of anybody, please encourage them to apply. Again, just showing you where we are and how far we've come here at City Hall. Again, here we are, City Hall, and then we just had some new restaurants open. This is Civic Square at GSQ. Some new restaurants open: the Distillery, Copper and Sage, Bacchus Wine Bar, Spitz Mediterranean Grill. F45, the Yard Milkshake Bar will be opening in March. Over Easy will be opening hopefully this month, which I found out will have a coffee bar. So we're very excited about that here at City Hall. High Tide Seafood, which has a location, I believe, in Chandler or Gilbert, will be opening up around April. We're also very excited to report the addition of an AC Hotels by Marriott, which will be a 135-key hotel on the south side of the park, one of the really great options that we'll have here in the West Valley for hospitality and leisure. You may have seen on the south side of the building here, Banner Medical is constructing a medical office. And the addition of the second parking garage to the south end has really been helpful in attracting new retail tenants. So you see some of the available pads for lease. Kidder Matthews is doing the leasing on behalf of Globe Corporation, who is the landowner for the site, and we're in a great public-private partnership with them. In addition to Shake Shack on the corner there, they'll hopefully be open, I believe, by April of this year. So very exciting new amenities for residents and visitors, something that our residents have been asking for, and we're delivering here in the city of Goodyear. As for the other side of 150th, I believe last year, Globe Corporation announced a joint venture with Red Development to establish a mixed-use district on that property. You might have seen the extension of Goodyear Way, where you can see Zone C, right? This is a map from the PAD, Zone C. That road will extend all the way from Goodyear Way to Bullard Avenue. You can expect restaurant, retail, residential, and additional uses surrounding the Harkins in the corner there. So we're very excited to be working with Globe Corporation and Red Development on that, and expect some very exciting announcements this year. I can't say anything obviously right now, but we're very excited about that property. This is McDowell Road, and I just kind of wanted to give you a perspective of what may seem like a lot of dirt right now actually is really filling in with a lot of new retail users. You know, you have different landowners that own these sites, and they're actively leasing out to new tenants. And so you can see, obviously, there's just a ton of activity going on McDowell Road. We call it the McDowell Retail Corridor. And not last but not least, the big elephant in the room that everyone is excited about is Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is taking a 22-acre parcel. They purchased a 22-acre portion of what was formerly about 70-acre parcel at the southeast corner of I-10 and Bullard. 120 gas pumps, 74,000 square foot retail store, 300 jobs, well-paying jobs, I might add. It's going to be a very large traffic impact, but we're very excited from the city to have this. It really is a regional or tourist draw, so it's put our name on the map a little bit more, and we're excited to see this development come to fruition. I believe the new construction timeline is June 2026 of completion, and we're looking forward to seeing sort of the ancillary benefits around the site for new development. So stay tuned for that as well. Heading further south, this is our Ballpark Village area. The city, you may have seen a lot of new multifamily and single family product coming in down there. It's only going to get built out more, I believe, about 5,000 units of new housing around the area. At the northeast corner of Estrella and Yuma, you can expect 2 new multifamily developments and about 44,000 square feet of new retail, which they're actively leasing now. More announcements to come on that in the coming months in terms of the tenants that are going in that area. The city owns about 58 acres around the Goodyear Ballpark. It is part of the council's strategic plan to release an RFI for development around that area for amenities. So also stay tuned towards the end of this year for that as well. And a personal plug, the city owns retail space at the exterior of the Goodyear Ballpark, about 9,000 square feet of retail space. We're looking to hopefully attract restaurant and retail to those, some more amenities for the people of South Goodyear. So yeah, that's a very exciting project that we have going on. This is Canyon Trails Town Center, and I apologize for the header not appearing on these slides, but this is Canyon Trails Town Center. I bring this up just because this is a very important retail hotspot for us. It was from the worst performing retail centers to one of the best performing retail centers. They've almost fully leased all the box space in the retail. The pads are also filling out, and so it just shows how much growth there has been in Southwest Goodyear and the amount of attraction given the new residents, how much retail is going on in that area. Jumping a little bit to existing business and business expansion, we're actively working with our local business to expand. This is obviously Sub-Zero, who recently expanded in the last year. And this is also to give you a perspective of what before the Loop 303 was built in 2014, there were only 2 companies on that corridor. In 2025, we have 23 companies with 12 million square feet of space and 2.4 billion of CapEx. We do benefit in Goodyear from being a city with ample foreign trade zones, and we do have a military reuse zone around the Goodyear Airport. So if you know of any businesses that want to take advantage of that, please encourage them. But yeah, we do continue to see a lot of spec industrial development, and we're looking as a city to fill those with our strategy for the city is to fill those with high quality employers, high wage jobs, and really attractive businesses and employers. Again, this is just some of the examples of Goodyear businesses that are actively thriving in our community with lots of jobs. You obviously Anderson Windows, Factor, Sub-Zero, and then obviously the data centers are a huge asset to our community as well. On the medical side, this is our healthcare. We've had some significant expansions. Abrazo Health Campus is expanding their presence to an additional building. Ironwood Cancer and Research Center opened up last year. City of Hope is expanding, and then obviously you see the banner building south of here. So medical and life sciences is something that we're very interested in attracting in the city of Goodyear. Really high wage employers, and we really want to get that kind of catalyst for that kind of development around here. This is a sort of a separate call out to the office space across the way. This is Gen 1 office. We recently been able to announce some new tenants in there. I believe the last update that I've had from the owner Globe was it's getting primarily leased. I don't know what the exact percent. I believe maybe 80%. If Mike Olson's on, please correct me if I'm wrong. But we're also very excited to announce some new tenants coming in there in the coming year. So a lot going on. I know I probably threw a lot at you right now. I do have an annual update that's hot off the presses that I'll pass out. We do have our Goodyear Business and Lifestyle magazine if you want to come up and take a look at that or take one home. We do keep a development map on our Goodyear website, developgoodyearaz.com. You have the QR code if you want to use that. And we do keep updates on what we're able to announce in terms of development in the area. It has really valuable information as well in terms of jobs, square footage, all that kind of stuff. So with that, I'll close and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe. All right, next we have an update on from Water Services, and I believe Silvana, thank you, is going to come and give us that update.
Thank you. Is this the beginning? No,
First one?
no, it's not. So.
There we go. Okay. Let's go with it.
Perfect. Thank you. Good morning, all. My name is Silvana Burgos. I'm the Water Resources Planning Advisor for the city, representing water services today. So just to begin the presentation, I want to touch on a little bit of what makes our water supplies here in the city. The city currently operates under a designation of assured water supply issued by the Department of Water Resources. This was originally issued in 2016 and is valid until 2028. The makeup of the majority of our supplies is outlined in this document, and I depicted in the graph to the left. We have the majority of our supplies being made up by CAP water. That Central Arizona project comes from the Colorado River, followed by groundwater, long-term storage credits, and reclaimed water, which is so valuable to us. Sorry. So what exactly does the designation of assured water supply do? It pretty much guarantees 100 years of water for existing and committed development. And how is it that we do that? Why 100 years exactly? It's with the mentality of water first, then development. It's a sense of security for our residents and businesses that we welcome here. So Goodyear recertifies every 10 to 12 years. Which means that we submit an application to the Department of Water Resources and have them look at what our portfolio currently is, what we project our supplies to be, and what our projected demands will be. They combine everything to give us a decision of how much it is that we have to serve and grow into. Currently, we have submitted an application of modification of redesignation, which is currently under review by the Department of Water Resources. It is an unpredictable time frame for us for ADWR to complete that review and give us the new decision in order. However, we are currently operating under the current one we have. And again, that puts us out till 2028. And what this new application does, it considers all existing developments in progress and allows us to plan for future growth in the city. So this is a concept that only applies to our water service area. We are divided into different water service areas between our private water providers and what the city serves. So I just thought I'd make that clarification there because I almost skipped over it. In the integrated water master plan world, the city just completed an update to the IWMP. And what the purpose of this document is to plan for water resources for future development, establish a strategy for Rainbow Valley water supply and infrastructure, plan for water, wastewater, and reclaimed infrastructure needs, as well as, again, aiding in that submission of the modification of assured water supply that was submitted to the Department of Water Resources in May of 2024. As far as the IWMP updates and the details, I cannot disclose at this moment as it is still slated for council hearing in March. However, upon council approval, we can definitely share more of what those changes in the IWMP are and what that means for the development community. And it will be incorporated into all city design standards and guidelines following that approval. So more to come on this, hopefully by the next quarterly update, as I understood that the frequency of these forums. A little bit of sewer and capacity updates. Currently, the 157th Avenue wastewater treatment plant, which is our largest wastewater treatment plant, is under advanced monitoring by the county officials. With that, every new development that comes in is accounted into a spreadsheet and allows us to make determinations of what's needed from there and how much more we can welcome. But with that being said, we just completed a phase 1 expansion of that treatment plant, which brings the rated capacity to 6.83 MGD. And phase 2 is about to begin, which will bring us to a 7.5 MGD capacity. While this is going on, we will continue advanced monitoring under Maricopa County rules. Rainbow Valley down in our southern portion of our city is currently under expansion as well and will be upgraded to a 2 MGD capacity. I was asked also to prepare a list of most frequently seen issues within plan review submittals, which I'd like to touch on a little bit. These are all from our plan reviewers, so please don't shoot the messenger here. Number one, incorrect material, the use of incorrect materials on plan review submittals, i.e. materials not on the approved materials list as Goodyear prescribes. Following incorrect pipeline and service line sizing, not allowed in EDS and PM. The issue of private versus public has become quite predominant in the latest, in the review submittals that have been submitted. And what I mean by that is that a lot of private water lines are being made public through easements. And what I mean by that is the maintenance and repair of these private water lines is being is requiring city resources to oversee this by drawing, the way I've understood it, by bringing about easements that shouldn't perhaps be made. Also within the commercial and multifamily properties and the responsibility of on-site utilities, that's another one of those issues where these are being located and the easements that come with it as well. We'd like to make note that all backflow and metering installed within the commercial and multifamily properties are to be installed at the edge of right-of-ways compared to in private areas that are not accessible by city staff. Half-street improvements to include water and sewer improvements. That is an item that has been frequently ignored as well. We'd just like to bring that into the list and attention for further consideration for future review submittals. With that, that's pretty much all I have today. More details again to be provided once the IWMP is officially approved by City Council. I can disclose some additional details on that. Any questions I'd like to take at the moment related to any of the material presented? Anyone online? Okay, I will stay until the end of the event, so if there are any questions that come up related to water, I'm happy to answer those. And anything that I cannot answer today, I can certainly take back and have our experts make further comments on such. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvana. Up next, Cheryl Mullis is going to come give us an update on combo permits.
I sat close so I didn't fall down. That's what I do. Welcome, everyone. First of all, I want to say it's a great time to be in Goodyear. That's our new tagline, but it's true. It's a great time to be in Goodyear. And I thank you for your applause, not even applause, but applause with my promotion. I'm very excited. I have been acting, pretending. Now I'm actually going to do the real thing. So hopefully it'll go well, but I look forward to it. But today I wanted to talk about what we have with the City Council is called a strategic plan. And in that plan, one of the things that we're responsible for is our goal is high quality development with a simple customer centric process. That's what we do. So it's continuous improvement, right? All the time. That's what we do. And we appreciate your patience with Acela and everything that we've tried over the last year. The combo process is one of those processes. It doesn't function properly. So we're going back to the original process that will require the site plan to be submitted first. But with the director's guidance, we can also do what's now called concurrent. So if it happens to be, let's say it's a pad infill site for a new commercial, we would review the site plan quickly, and then we would allow the civil and building to come in to not hold up the process because it's minimal, typically minimal. I guess I would say with planning, parking seems to be the biggest concern with infill, which Katie always explained, if we have a parking problem, that's a good thing, right? It's good and bad, but it's good for us that we're doing well. So we have a lot of businesses. But so that's the process that we have. I'd like to say, if you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. That's why I'm here. And I have a great team. I have great support, both on inspections and plan review, permit tax. We work well together, and we're here to help you get through the process as quickly, efficiently as possible. But that's why we're here. So without you, we wouldn't have a job. And I also wanted to quickly touch on code updates, just quickly, that we are still in the process of looking at the code updates for the 24 other jurisdictions that we want to align with in the Valley. We're all working on amendments that have been suggested by the home builders and things like that. So we're working together so that when you develop in Phoenix and Peoria, you're developing Goodyear, we're consistent. We want to be aligned with that. So it is an arduous process, and it will probably happen the end of this year. I'm thinking more towards, because it's time is flying. So yeah, and then with Randy leaving, it's my first code adoption. I'm very excited. So, but yeah, reach out about that as well. All the plans will remain on the 2018 codes. So if you have any questions with that, if you're in development, please continue on the existing codes. And we'll accept that because when it's adopted, there's a grace period, especially for home builders. Matt, Madamy, where'd you go? Yeah, we give a grace period. Typically it's a year that allows the existing standard plans to remain in effect. So I don't anticipate a lot of changes. That's our goal as well. Another thing we talk about is the codes are prepared by very smart, intelligent people that we don't need to question why it's in there. So we try and work with as little code amendments as possible. Now, when it comes to fire, there's a whole other thing, but building's good. But we'll share those with you as well. So, and I think there's questions at the end, unless you have any questions now. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Cheryl. Next up, Tommy Vassallo is on Teams, and I don't know, Tommy, if you're able to jump in to talk about the traffic control permit fees. If not, I can give an update.
Hi, Katie. Yeah, I'm here. I was having a problem with mic and camera access. So the traffic control fees were adopted by council January 27th. They will go into effect February 27th. Next week, we do have a customer training meeting with our barricade companies to discuss the new fees, penalties, and any questions on moving forward with traffic control permits. The permit fees can be found on our Development Services website. And by clicking on the link, the new TCP fees, effective 12/27/25.
All right. Thank you. So this is a screenshot from our website. So the fee schedule is available online. We gave you an update that we were going to be doing this and didn't get too many comments from the development community. I think we are aligning with other cities. We weren't increasing our fees above and beyond what other cities do. All right, next up is Marty Crossland giving us an update on the EDS and PM update.
Good morning. All right, so those of you that were at the last development forum, this is the third and final block, if you will, of the standards update. The first two blocks have already gone through the internal comment review and the external comment review and are sitting and waiting for the third block, which is now, if you're part of the email block that goes out for this meeting, you should have received a notification from our consultant, Kimley Horn and Associates. This last block is pertaining to all of the utilities, water, reclaimed water, sewer, landscaping, and I believe some of the storm sewer. So that doesn't mean that the other prior chapters in the standards are 100% locked in yet. We know that there's some things that we're going to have to go back and look at again once we're through the entire document. But this is with the public group now for your comment and suggestions. The deadline, I believe they said, is February 21st, which is coming up quickly. So if you do have any updates or suggestions, please get them over to me or to our consultants so that we can review them and make determinations if it's something that we want to pursue or have a further conversation on. And then we will, with this being the final block of the actual review, it'll go for an executive review with all of our department heads and city manager's office. And then we'll come through a legal review to see that we're not stepping on any other state statutes or any other ordinances the city already has in place. We're currently shooting for a council date sometime in April, possibly May, for adoption. So if there's any questions, I can take them now, or I'll stick around till the end. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Going a little out of order on the agenda, I would like to invite Christian Williams, who's going to give us an update on the accessory dwelling unit text amendment.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Christian Williams, planning manager here with Goodyear. Thank you for everyone who's attending online and that came in person. It was nice to get to meet a lot of y'all. Just to touch on, the state of Arizona passed a House bill that allows or requires municipalities to have accessory dwelling units within the city. So the city in December passed the zoning ordinance amendment, and we now allow ADUs on lots that are not located within the military vicinity box or that Luke Air Force Base box, or in the vicinity box of the public airport, which is our Phoenix Goodyear Airport. So if you are outside of those boxes and your HOA allows them, you are now allowed to have one attached ADU and one detached ADU. If you have a property that is an acre in size or larger, you can work with the city to do a restricted affordable accessory dwelling unit as well. And the process for that would be to schedule a pre-application meeting with us so we can go through the next necessary steps for that. ADUs are now permitted on those lots, assuming your HOA allows it, on the side or backyard. They do follow our design guidelines, but they do not need to match the architecture of the main structure. And those ADUs can include kitchen or cooking facilities, which is very different than our casitas that are currently allowed. Those ADUs are also allowed to have an attached garage or a parking area, and the setbacks on the sides and rears for those are 5 feet. And the ADUs also inherit the height allowance of the underlying zoning district, and the ADUs are allowed to be a maximum of 1,000 square feet or 75% of the gross floor area of that main primary house. We do have brochures for this online, so I don't want to rattle on and make your time all boring. It's not a cool economic development presentation, but there are some fun brochures that are not as cool as those that are available on our website. They're on the development resources section of the development center. I'll also note that we do have a chickens ordinance that was updated. There's a brochure for that our intern, now assistant planner made. They're a lot nicer than my little brochures here. And we also have made it a little easier for you all to understand the development agreement process and our annexation process and what we're going to be looking for in those applications. We have some brochures available on our website to help you all out with that as well. If there's any questions online or in the room, happy to answer those. If not, the brochures are here, and I'm always happy to take an email or phone call.
Awesome. Well, it's a great time to be in Goodyear, and nice to meet you all, and nice chat with you. And I would like to call up our principal planner, Guadalupe Ortiz Cortez, to talk a little bit about our zoning ordinance update that is occurring very soon.
Thank you, Christian. Good morning, everyone. We're very excited about this update. Our current code was adopted in the early 90s. So we're now looking into updating the zoning ordinance, and it will be a comprehensive update. We are working with Michael Baker International on this update. We are in the beginning phases of this update process. We have an 18-month timeline with hopeful City Council adoption in June 2026. The code will be updated in sections, and as those section drafts become available, we will upload them to a website that is not up and running yet, but once available, it will be linked to our city website, and we will send notifications via the development forum listserv as well, so that you have the opportunity to review those sections as they are available. We will hold community workshops and targeted meetings with stakeholders on specific topics that we are yet to determine. But if you're interested in being part of any specific topic, please let Christian or myself know. There will be various opportunities to provide feedback, and anytime really we will receive your feedback. Thank you.
All right. We're in the home stretch. Next, I'd like to invite Tim Fisher, our permit manager, up, who's going to give us an update of payment options in our Acela permit system.
Thank you, Katie. It's exciting to meet all of you. The first time I've been up with the Development Forum group. So we're excited to talk to you about a recent change that should make your payment options a lot easier in the Acela system. So on February 22nd, we're going to be able to make all fee checks free. So it's not often that we get to tell you that something's going to cost you nothing, but the idea is we would love to drive you to the zero fee check, e-check option for you. It's currently you're being charged $1 per transaction. Now it'll be zero. But the biggest change, I think, for you is to be able to move the fees from $1 million to $2 million per individual transaction, which with the analysis that we did, this should allow you to do any level of permit that you need in a single transaction. So this should make it a lot easier for you. The downside to this probably is you say, well, I don't currently use this, but it's very easy to use. If you need some help, you can call the development counter, you can call any of us, and we'll help set you up so that you will get to use this assessment fee much easier. What we're hoping to see happen here is that the trust accounts where we are currently holding your money, we'd like to see that kind of disappear, because there's no reason for us to hold your money while you are able to do $2 million worth of a permit fee. So anybody that has a trust account will be reaching out to you. If you still want to use it as a legacy member, you're allowed to do it. But ultimately, what we want to do is get rid of all cash that we're holding on your behalf and allow you to store it in your bank, you to draw your own interest in it, because we've allowed you to now make a $2 million payment in the e-check. As all things, there are some things that are not exactly as positive as free. The payment card processor is going to move the fees from 2.67 to 2.7 per transaction. The limit is still 75,000 for this. And some of you do use the credit card option. It's still available to you. But our hope is that almost every single transaction will go to this e-check option for you. It's very simple. It's very easy. It couldn't get any easier than this. Those of you that would like some help because you're not currently using it, we'll be reaching out to you personally because we know who you are. And anything other than that, you can reach out to me. I'm the new permit manager, Tim Fisher, or anybody on the development team can help you. Katie, that's all I have.
Thank you, Tim. And again, I just want to reiterate what Tim said. Please call the development counter, and we would be happy to walk you through using eCheck if you haven't used it before. All right, so wrapping up, one other item I want to talk about. So again, I mentioned at the beginning of this that I'm coming up on a year of my time here, and as I'm sure many of you have been through, it's challenging when you take over a new role. And I was drinking through the fire hose last year, but now I am really excited to get some more feedback from our customers on how we can improve our processes. We just had a new general plan ratified by our residents in May and a new strategic plan adopted by our city council in December. And if you read through them, they both very clearly give us direction to attract diverse and high quality development. And if we're going to do that, we need you, our customers, to be able to bring us this high quality development, which leads us to our department goal that Cheryl just shared with us, for us to create a simple, customer-centric development review process. And some of you may think that we are very far away from that currently. And this is why we need your help to understand what we need to do to achieve that goal of a simple, customer-centric development review process. One thing we are going to be doing is we are going to be sending a customer survey to all of you, a traditional SurveyMonkey type survey. We're trying to keep it to around 10 questions, 10 minutes or less to fill it out. There's going to be some typical scale rating questions, but then we also have some open-ended questions. I would really appreciate you taking the time to fill that out and also share it with others who you know who've been a customer with us in the recent past, to share with us feedback. And I can just assure you, we take those surveys very seriously. Every single written comment we received will get read and thoroughly thought through and considered. So if you are able to take the time to give us that feedback, I can tell you it is going to go to help improve the process. We talk a lot about how we are a continuous improvement department. We do use some of the principles of Lean Six Sigma, if some of you are familiar with that, and I take that very seriously. We also have a saying that we use internally, that feedback is a gift. And that relates to our customers too, that all the feedback you can give us is a gift. It may be hard to hear sometimes, but it is a gift, and we can't improve our process unless you're giving us this feedback. So we're going to be doing the survey, but then the other thing we're going to be doing is a customer listening session. And we're going to be doing basically a 2-hour workshop. We're going to hold it at our Goodyear Recreation Campus. We're very grateful. Jimmy Lindblom from Wilming Construction has volunteered to facilitate it for us. So city staff isn't going to facilitate it. City staff will be there, but we will be sitting in the back and listening with our mouth shut and our ears open to hear what's going on. So please save the date. We're going to send out more information and RFP on it. I mean, and a RSVP on it, but if you would go ahead and tag that. So it's Monday, March 17th from 9:30 to 11:30. Sorry about the little Teams messages popping up, you know. But again, I just really wanted to take the time to, we just would really be grateful for your participation, either in the survey or this customer listening session. And again, helping us get the word out about both of these to people who, you know, maybe didn't have the greatest experience with the city of Goodyear in the past. Or those who have had great experiences, but we definitely want to hear about how we can improve so we can make it a process that works for everybody. With that, our next meeting date is scheduled for Wednesday, May 21st, probably around the same time, morning. We know it's a lot easier in the mornings to come out to the West Valley. So please save the date for that as well. And again, we would love to see you in person, have the opportunity to say hello. So please do so. So with that, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And also, if you would let us know if there's future topics you want to hear about at our next meeting or updates you want to hear before May that we can send out to you, please let us know. You can write in the chat, raise your hand, or I'll open it up here in a minute. And also, if you just want to reach out, you know, many of you know some of us personally or a little bit more. So if you want to reach out to any of us for future topic ideas for improvement, we'd appreciate it. So thank you very much. Any questions, anything popping up on Teams? Any questions here? Yes? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Kayla with LJA Engineering. I did send over some questions, but I have them here with me.
Beautiful.
So there are a few.
Mhm.
We want to go through all of them, but there are some things that have come up. We do have a project here, a build for rent project, and there have been some great experience. I really do want to say I appreciate the building staff and the permit tech specifically. They have really been gracious to us in helping us navigate through a lot of things, from inspections to extending permits. And speaking on that topic of permit expiration and the Acela process, are you guys going to be revising the Acela system so it includes expiration on those permits? Because currently, we do not have that, and when a project continues, we need to track that. So that sometimes is a challenge, and we hate to burden the staff anymore.
Great question. And I'm looking, and I heard, we just had a meeting with our Acela representatives last week, and I thought I heard the expiration was a hot topic. Did that get completed? Or? It will be available soon on the ACA site, not quite completed, but we are working on that.
Thank you. My next question is, will the city be implementing any type of special case management assistant programs in the near future that will help support and navigate special needs projects for customers whose complex and large projects require services across multiple departments? I think you guys touched on that, but more specifically, we are on the residential side, so just curious as far as the residential side goes.
Thank you. Great question. Again, one, I would love to pick your brain more about what exactly the needs are, but we are trying to make improvements to Acela. And again, I'm not the Acela expert, so I'm sorry, everyone, I'm not using the right terminology, but there are some tools in Acela to group some of these different permits together so that as a customer, you go in and you can see all of your projects. So we're working to make sure we have all of those tools available to our customers, and then doing training or helping set up for that with our permit team. I'm looking at my team, is that I'm giving out correct information, right? Okay, so we are gonna have some tools quickly, but I would love to learn more. Again, if you know some other cities are doing some cool things, or there's some other programs that help with this, we would love to learn more about that.
Absolutely. So on that, is there also expedited reviews coming back?
I will say right at this moment, no, because of staffing levels. However, definitely at pre-application meetings, but any other time, we do want to constantly talk to our customers about what your end goals are. Because even without expedited reviews, sometimes we can meet your goals. And the earlier we know your goal, the easier it is to be able to shuffle things to try and meet it. So for right now, we just want to keep an open conversation. If there is a special circumstance, like, oh my gosh, we have a closing in a month and we need to reach out to one of us, and we will see what we can do. And that's where we are right now. But we know that is something that our customers want back, so that there's a little bit more certainty.
I would also add that we're also.
Yeah.
But we are working to reprioritize. So if you get it back in a tighter time frame, so that, business days on the first review, like 15 on the second review and 5 on the fifth. Because of keep things moving, start to finish. So that's not quite expedited. We're trying to get you there. Best we can.
For those on Teams who, I don't know if you were able to hear what Marty just said, but we are just looking at our overall timeframes And one of the things we've already heard from our customers are that the second and subsequent reviews are taking too long especially. So we are trying to get those expedited and turned around much tighter, which will hopefully help meet the customer goals.
Thank you. That specifically comes up when there's situations out in the field where an inspector, something was missed in a review, and then the inspector asks us to go back in for a submittal, and then, we know the staff is inundated with other reviews, but to keep moving the project forward, it would be great if there was something implemented that can speed up that process when situations from the field come up that delay what is currently happening in the field and the inspectors waiting on approval of said.
Thank you. That is some absolutely great feedback. And as part of the subsequent review, we are also super prioritizing revisions and field changes. So we would love to delve into that more, but I hear you. Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, this is Cheryl. Thank you. Just, we appreciate the input and we are prioritizing revisions and amendments. We don't want to stop construction, right? But what would help is when you submit and you receive that record number, if you could at least reach out to our team and let us know it's here. Sometimes there's been things submitted that don't complete the process and we don't even know it's here. And that time goes on and it's holding you up, and that's not our goal. But we do allow our inspection teams to say, I can handle this in the field, or I want a revision. So that is a priority for us. So just give us a little nudge, heads up. If you don't mind, then we can help you. Okay?
Thank you. Anything else? All right. Okay, well, once again, thank you all for joining us for the Development Advisory Forum, and we will either see you next time. I hope to see you all at our customer listening session in March. See you then. Thank you.